Driving through the fog, I couldn't tell which way was down. Three rabbits on the road, a message from a different realm. The hum of something new. The sharp, metallic blue. And yes, you know I love it when we are both looking straight at me. But I'm feeling multiplied, feeling far away from what I need. What is sick? What is part of it? I want to be the color of the pool. I want to hold the fire, part of fuel. And I can see a place where I wouldn't let it follow me. Moving currents in the air, sensing shifting energy. The moment before a crush, sound of breaking glass.
That was Color of the Pool from the artist I'm joined with right now, Lala, aka Lillie West. How you doing today?
Really good. How are you?
Good. The album is out right now. How does it feel to have the album I Want the Door to Open out right now?
Really good. I mean, I worked on it a long time and I've been waiting a long time. So it's like a very, it's a release. No pun intended.
And that song, The Color of the Pool, is one of your favorite songs on the whole album. Why?
I think that if, on one hand, it's because it was so hard to make. I've never made so many versions of a song in my life. Like there's probably 30 versions of that song, and I started making it, like the beginnings of that song started 5 years ago, probably. And there's like an EDM version or like a really slow version with bells. Like I tried so many different things and I could not figure out that song. And we ended up figuring it out on like the last day of recording, and it is exactly how I wanted it. It's like better than I thought. It was just very satisfying to have that process. And then also I think it's just about something that I think about, I'm like always trying to embody this intensity, and I was really pleased with how I felt that the song lyrically and musically did that.
Will all those versions ever see the light of day, or you're thinking they're done, they're over with?
I mean, maybe if I ever do a Song Exploder, I'm like, that would be the perfect song for Song Exploder because there's so many demos.
Describe your perfect atmosphere to create in.
I think alone, at least starting something alone, and like no distractions, like no phone or other responsibilities. Like for me to really be good at creating, I have to have like a clean space. I can't like have anything else to do that day. I can't need to call someone or something. It's really about just having a purity of concentration.
There was many different versions of Castle of Life. How do you start your process of making a record?
I mean, I try not to ever think about like the record per se as I'm writing. I just am like writing semi-often, like all the time, kind of. And then with this one, it was sort of like, oh, it's time to make a record. Let's take a look at what I've written of the past 2 years or something, and sort of try and piece it together, and then develop all those demos from there. Because that's another thing I do when I'm writing. I don't. I almost never am writing like how the final song will be. It's just sort of expressing myself, and it's very rare. I think the song "Bliss Now" on the record is the one song that's almost exactly the same as the demo. I basically just recreated the demo, higher quality, but everything else is like completely different.
Mm-hmm. How long does it usually take you to write a song? What's the process?
I mean, I really think it's different every time. You know, it's like a song might start from a lyric, or it might start from a beat or like a loop or something, and it's completely up in the air what happens afterwards. There's a couple songs I've written that have just fell out, like completely done basically, in one sitting, and then there's other songs that, like I said, take years and years and years to find their final form. So it's really different every time, which I really like. I don't want to know. It's like a mysterious process that I enjoy.
Which song was the most difficult to write on the album?
I don't know about to write, but Diver was definitely the most difficult to finish, and I could still work on that song. It was really hard to figure out like which instruments I wanted to be in there, and like mixing them was really hard because it's so dense. And I did want it to be a really extreme song, but I would be I mean, maybe this is the best version that it could possibly be, but I would also be really curious to keep working on it and
what
make
would you
30 more versions of that song.
What would you change, or what would you add to it right now?
I guess if I were to work on it right now, I would just go back in and examine like everything that's there and hear it. I'd be like, ooh, what is it like if it's like just vocals and trumpet or something? You know, I'm just curious what else could happen.
You have the promo for the album release is hilarious. I love how you have the different characters and talking to yourself, and just it looks great. How did that come about?
I just had an idea to make an infomercial that was kind of wacky, and I basically consulted with Will Duncan, who directed and wrote it, and Sarah Squirm, who stars in it and co-wrote it. And honestly, that was mostly them. Like, they just ran with my idea and absolutely crushed it. Like, they are really creative, hilarious people.
It's super funny.
Yeah.
I love how they talk about the barbecue, and she's eating the ribs in that one, which we talked about before getting on. It's difficult to pick what to eat. What is your favorite food?
My favorite food, I think sushi. I just love sushi.
Mm-hmm. What was the first album that changed your life? It's a tough question. I know there's many albums, or the first CD that you bought that you were like, okay, this is the album that defines. Oh, nice cat.
Oh, she's good. I remember, this is not exactly a direct answer to that, but I remember my mom would always play music in the car. She would listen to like Kate Bush, who I love now, and she's in Board of Vista Social Club, and Supertramp she loved. And I remember David Bowie was the first artist that she played that I was like, oh, I get this. I really, really like this when I was like a little kid. But I think, I don't know, maybe the Violent Femmes self-titled album, I feel like that was maybe some of the first music that I discovered and liked, like independent of anyone else. Like, no, I don't know how I found it, but no one showed it to me, and I was like, oh, I really, really connect with this, and like, maybe I want to learn bass. Bass player for Violent Femmes is so wild.
Yes, such good bass lines. Next song we're gonna get to is "Prove It." What's your favorite part about this song that we're gonna hear right now?
I really like the vocals in this song. I really was happy with the tone and the effects that we chose for different parts of the song. I thought were effective. Again, another pun.
So many puns. Let's enjoy it right now here on The Current.
like you're on a screen. I'm looking for the real thing. Virtue is a fickle road. I walk the line of something uncontrolled. You and I sleep alone. I wish that you would follow me home. Follow me home. And all the life in the world couldn't fill all your need, couldn't build a city, another life for your thrill. I'll take mine. I'll take mine.
That was Prove It from Lala Lala here on The Current. Beautiful direction. You wanted it to make it sound like a late 90s, 2000 songs, like Lent's Still My Sunshine. What was what's your favorite top 3 songs from that era?
Oh my god, I don't know. That's so hard. Can I just say "Steal My Sunshine" for every single one?
Lent is amazing.
Steal my sunshine. Steal my sunshine. Steal my sunshine.
You've toured with Death Cab for Cutie and been on your plates, on the song Plates. Kind of, you heard him in the background of it. What did you learn from touring with Death Cab?
They were just so generous and kind with us. You know, they like spent time with us. They shared their food and their sound person, and they watched our set every night. So it was maybe a lesson on like how to be a great main act towards a support band. But I just always think that like whoever we tour with takes it tour and music really seriously in their own way, and I always learn some way of taking it seriously. Whether that be, I feel like Death Cab is really positive. You know, they're like very much like, we're so lucky to be here. This is an amazing experience, and that is inspiring to be near. And every band we tour with, I learn something like that, some aspect of being grateful or taking it seriously, or like respecting the experience and respecting the people that you're with. Also, they're like really healthy. They like they all run and get enough sleep and eat really well and stuff. I feel like that's a very good recipe for longevity on tour.
What's the best touring advice that you ever received from someone as you embark on your upcoming tour next year?
I don't know if this is the best, but this is the one that immediately came to my mind. On one of the very first DIY tours I ever went on, my friend Mikey said, he was like, just don't, when you're in the car, just don't feel like you have to talk all the time. Like, everybody doesn't have to be hanging out all the time. Like, it can be quiet. I always think about that.
I mean, that is definitely something that has to be done, because you can't entertain 24/7 to someone. It's not right. Hey, it's Zeke here, and I'm joined with Lillie West of Lala Lala. You had the voicemail the 1-800-1833 Lala now. What was your favorite voicemail that you got?
There's so many that I love so much, but the one that I love has a lot of swearing in it. So I can't say. It's just people's tones. I got a lot of really genuine messages that were really wonderful.
What's the plans?
Yeah.
Is there a plan to release those or do something with them?
There's not a definite plan. I did start sampling some of them the other day, putting them into songs, and yeah, I think I might use them in songs in the future. But I'm gonna make one like big long one, maybe as like a thank you or just like a fun thing for everyone to hear.
That'll be sweet.
Right.
Would you rather work in collaborations or all by yourself? You've collaborated with the Beths on this album, and a few other producers.
I love collaborating. I really like writing by myself or starting writing, but production and stuff, I just love collaborating. I love seeing what other people can bring to the table or their ideas or how they'll change something that I think is finished or I think should be a certain way, and I'm like certain about that. And then they introduce another element or an idea that completely flips it on its head, and it is way better in my opinion. I also think it's easier to appreciate other people's ideas sometimes. Like you get so in your head and so focused on the minute details of something, and then someone else comes in with some big swooping idea and you're like, you know what, that's brilliant. I don't have to be so critical of myself when it's someone else's idea.
You know, this is the question that most people ask. What is your dream collaboration?
Oh my God, I don't know, Bjork.
That would be awesome.
I would love to collaborate with Bjork. I also really wanted to collaborate with Brockhampton. I feel like we could make such a cool song.
Yes.
I'm always on Twitter trying to get Kevin Abstract to notice me. I'm like, Kevin, listen to my music. Make a song with me.
Even just on a hook or something like you. Oh my, Brockhampton and you together would be amazing. Or even Kev. Oh.
Thank you. I agree. I really want to collaborate with them.
Kevin, come on now. Let's make this happen. If you had the world's attention for 1 minute, besides Brockhampton, if we could get that would be their attention to be like, hey, we need the collaboration. But if you could have the whole world's attention for 1 minute, what would you say?
I think I would try and convince everyone to abolish prisons. Whenever I get a question that's like, is there anything that you like wish that we had asked or something? There's this organization in Chicago called Illinois Prison Project that I love that helps people who have like excessive because Illinois has insane, I mean everywhere does, but Illinois has insane excessive sentencing. They have a 3-strike rule, which is like literally you steal a candy bar, it's your 3rd strike, you go to prison for the rest of your life. Like it's insane. And they work with people pro bono to get their sentences reduced or get them clemency. So I always try and bring them up when I have a chance, and I love them. And I would talk about them. But if it's the whole world, you know, I don't necessarily need to focus on that.
But there's a lot of prison reform and throughout the world. So I mean, it could be very helpful, and that is something.
Yeah.
What inspires you the most?
I think other people, like love, you know, like the way that you relate to other people, and this is also like a baby thought, but just like the earth, just like the earth is this massive, incredible organism that's like desperately trying to survive, and that's really inspiring to me.
And water's an inspiration. You bring it out throughout your different forms of water, and it's so impactful. I love how you do that, because I think about that a lot, and just me personally, just how water is like the greatest thing that we have on this earth at times.
I'm still writing about water like that. You know, there's water all over this record, and my new stuff is I can't stop writing about water because it's everything.
Yeah. Well, let's take a listen to the song that we're playing here on The Current right now. This is Diver.
It's not a screen that you pass through. The sun in your eyes too bright. A pool outside of a window, being pulled by the changing light. I can look directly at it. Your face distorted in the window, swimming out towards my new life, dragged in by the undertow. I'm Sisyphus, you're the witness. It's intimate, the violence. It's palpable to want it all. It's palpable to want. I can look directly at it. Your face distorted in the window, swimming out towards my new life, dragged in by the undertow. The soul, the spirit, the magic, to lose, to be romantic. It's not a screen where I can call you, or recording of what you said. All my time I have is diamonds rolling around my head. Maybe I could be a diver, heavy on the seabed, sliding into water, pushing up against the edge. I can look directly at it. Your face distorted in the window, swimming out towards my new life, dragged by the undertow. The spirit, the magic, to lust, to be